remember many years ago, my dad and mom taking my grandmothers and myself around the community of Freeport and looking at Christmas decorations. It was always so wonderful and got us so into the Christmas spirit. Not only downtown with the Noel that hangs down on Stevenson Street, but also the decorations that I believe are kind of still there on the light poles. But hometown Christmas decorations are where it's at. And we are very excited for TimBeck2 to do a couple of interviews for individuals who go above and beyond their Christmas decorations. I did an interview with Ray Matthews of Christmas on Chelsea and Tom Siner, who has the apple that's on Stevenson Street that really makes Freeport have a little more Christmas spirit every single year. First, let's listen to Ray Matthews and then Tom Siner. I am here with Ray Matthews, who not only is a friend of TimBeck2, but is also the creator of Christmas on Chelsea that takes place every year around the Christmas season. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Wonderful, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Sure. Ray, why did you decide to create Christmas on Chelsea?
Well, back around 2007, I believe it was, there was a gentleman named Carson Williams. He was in Ohio, and he was the first person that I ever saw. He put out a YouTube video where he had animated his Christmas lights and synchronized them to music. And myself, being kind of a computer and electronics nerd, thought, yeah, that's something I want to look into.
Well, it was funny. I remember you being my bus driver on a speech tournament and you telling me about this.
Yeah.
And I went, I have no idea what this is going to be about, but it sounds cool.
Well, and I even found out later that I guess it was even in a Bud Light commercial like 2 years earlier that particular video was. I had no idea. But I ran across it about 2007 and started looking into it and came up with my first basic show in 2009.
Excellent. Well, now, Ray, how long does it take for you to put up the display?
To put everything up outside, the things that you see, it takes me a good solid week pretty much. Now, the things on the house, I can do a little earlier in the year toward the end of October. But the items in the yard, of course, you have to wait till mowing and leaf picking up is done. So sometimes those get done right at the last minute, and I'm out there in the snow and sleet putting them up.
Have you had any issues with that during the weather or anything like that? Or has it been pretty smooth throughout the years?
It's been pretty smooth. Getting everything set up like that out there is it's been challenging a couple of times with the weather, but generally the weather's been cooperating. The more difficult part is actually the behind the scenes, all the computer work to make it all work out.
And I wanted to ask with you about that. With the computer work, how much has changed each year with that?
Oh, the technology. I mean, back when I started this in 2009, that was back before we even had LED Christmas lights to speak of. We still had the old incandescent bulb things, pretty much strings of 50 or 100, and they were all one color. And anything I did would have had to be dealt with within those limitations. Then the technology changed, and there were some major changes with that. First big change I had was when what we call now dumb RGB crystals came out. They're LED pixels that have 3 LED chips in them. RGB stand for our red, green, and blue. And when you light those up in various combinations, you can create any color you want. So the strings went from being one color to any color in the rainbow you wanted. You also had the ability of being able to cut them or splice them together into numbers other than 50. So that was the first major technical change. Then after that, we got smart RGB pixels where every pixel in the string can be a different color, not the entire string, which is where we're at today.
So I've noticed over the years, of course, sitting at my table, waiting for Christmas or waiting for dinner and looking at the table out there, that it seems to get bigger each year and you spread it out a little bit more. How do you use a pencil and paper with something like that? Or how do you decide to create something that gets a little different for people?
Actually, the software that I use, which is amazing, it's an amazing piece of software and it's free. It's open source. And they have a visualizer where you can take a picture of your house, your yard, stick it in the software, and then you actually build the elements on the screen and you can visualize it right there on the screen and program them right there, see what you think they're going to do. Of course, you have to have a concept of what it's going to really look like. But I do everything on the computer screen and it pretty much shows me right there, simulates what it's going to be.
So what's been the reaction year after year with people?
Well, most people, when I am out about, don't really associate me with the lights. I'm kind of anonymous in that regard. But the people that do know, I've never had any negative reactions at all. Other than a few years ago, it was a bit of a surprise. The earlier incandescent elements, they didn't last very long. Incandescent lights, they were fragile, they broke. So the show elements changed a lot. And one of the items that I've had from day one is this group of dogs. I have these dog props in the yard that have always gone for a song called Yellow Snow. And they were the old incandescent lights. And every year I had to battle with trying to make them look good again. So many lights were out. The wiring was breaking. So one year, a few years ago, I decided, okay, it's time to retire the dogs, put them away and get rid of the Yellow Snow song. I got so much grief when I did that. Anybody I saw, it's like, what happened to the Yellow Snow song? That was my favorite song. So fortunately, I didn't recycle them yet. I had to dig them back out and spend the good part of the next year completely redoing them with LEDs. So they're back and I can never get rid of that song.
Well, I am very proud of the fact that you've asked Becky and myself to be a part of your Christmas on Chelsea with some of the voices. It's hard to believe someone as sweet and nice could be an old man Norm, for those of you that are listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's one of these things, script wise, how we've created it and how you've created it has really been great for some charities around the area. How has this helped the community and how has the response been?
It's pretty funny. When I started it, I never even considered having a donation box of any kind. But my first year, I had people knocking on the door wanting to give me money. And it's like, I don't want your money. So I decided a second year, of course, I had to start a donation box. So since starting the show in 2009, this will be the 16th year. We've collected just a little over $29,000 in donations that we've given to various local charities.
So I guess a major question that everybody probably wonders is how many, you've already said how many years it's been. How long do you continue to do it? Do you want to continue to do it?
Well, I'm not getting any younger. I'm hoping at some point, not too far down the road, somebody else in the region will kind of carry the torch on and I can pass this along to somebody. There's a gentleman that I know up in Orangeville that might be firing up something in the next year or two. But as long as people keep coming and I get positive notes in the mailbox every now and then, as long as they keep coming and enjoying it and I'm able to do it, I'll keep doing it.
Well, I know last night when Charlie, our intern, who really likes you, Ray, I think we've realized that. I think he liked Yellow Snow also, I think. Your cars were basically all the way down toward our house, which was really cool. And it's nice to see that and see a neighborhood that's full of life and is very vibrant and so on. So we'd like to thank you and Terry for doing Christmas on Chelsea and doing it. Any last words for the community of Freeport regarding Christmas on Chelsea?
Well, I thank anybody that comes out for their generosity in donating to the local charities. The light show runs from 4:30 to 10:30 nightly from Thanksgiving Day through New Year's Day. And feel free to come out anytime and stay as long as you like.
Yeah, we'd love for you to come out here to Chelsea to see that. And Snickle Fritz the Elf or Old Man Norm might be walking around and seeing you and saying hello to you. And of course, Charlie, the intern, every once in a while, the little schnauzer, likes going for a walk and seeing all the cars. And it's a wonderful neighborhood and wonderful community experience. Thanks to you, Ray, and thanks to Terry.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that.
I am so happy to be down at Freeport Rug and Linoleum with Tom Seiner to talk about a tradition that is like no other in this town. It's the Apple on 630 Stevenson Street. Tom, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, Tom, how long has the Apple been a part of your family on Stevenson Street?
I would say it's a little over 60 years. My parents bought the house about 65 years ago, so they started it shortly after they were there.
So, what? How long does it take to put up? How long does it take to take down? And what's the procedure that you do with that?
Probably takes a weekend to get it all ready to go up, and then another weekend to put it up.
When do you get it up? Thanksgiving?
It turns on Thanksgiving night, but we start working on it, putting it up before Halloween. So with the weather and stuff, try to get it up before the weather changes.
Do you have people immediately come to it?
Yeah, there's people that called. We didn't get it lit right away on Thanksgiving. We were out of town, so I forgot to turn it on, and there was people calling me already to come in.
Any interesting stories about it over the years that you've been a part of it that with the Apple or anything?
My mom probably could tell you a little bit better, but there's been a group of that just got married, and they come and had their picture taken underneath the tree and stuff. So
how wonderful that is! How difficult is it? How difficult is it to take down? Is it that difficult at all?
Not too bad. It goes easier down than up. It's this year was a little rough because we had a storm last summer, and it took out the center part of the tree. So we had to rig up branches to lift it up in the center. So it took a little more time this year to do.
Well, I was wondering about the difficulty of that because it's so beautiful, and when you drive by and the brightness of it. Thank you so much for keeping the tradition going. And if you have not been a part of the Apple and want to go see it, 630 Stevenson Street, Tom Seiner, Freeport Rug and Linoleum. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Hopefully that puts you in the Christmas spirit a little bit. And hopefully you stop out to Christmas on Chelsea and maybe have a little donation to Mother Hubbard's Cupboard and to stop by and see the Apple and maybe take a picture in front of it on Stevenson Street. You know why Freeport's so great? Because you're a part of it. Thanks to Jim Yeager, Arthur, and the whole gang at HCC for making TimBeck2 sound so much better. And to all of you, may you have a happy and lighted holiday season.